I had a
Yeah,
wild nature. I having kids at a young age definitely made me go, no, that's a
yeah,
story I don't want my kids to find out
yeah.
as they get
But
older.
I don't know because I feel like everybody is well. I don't want to say wild, but everybody. I'm telling you, and I tell people this all the time. The young people, because I envy them sometimes because they don't understand. They don't see anything, so they're oblivious to a lot of stuff. So they live free. They think they're gonna live forever, and they just oblivious and dumb, whatever. And then you start learning as you get along and making mistakes. Because when I was younger, I wasn't wild. I knew better not to like do drugs or do stupid stuff. And then, like I said, since money didn't motivate me, there's times where I get money to do stuff that I shouldn't be doing,
Yeah.
like drug dealing. I was always peer pressure to do that. I knew better than that, but I made bad mistakes when it came to money too. So
Yeah.
my credit was horrible. It was a lot of stuff, but I learned from those mistakes. You know.
Well, I was in a world in my 20s when I came to New Jersey and I got into like the underground modeling world. That is a world that will change your perspective on
Mm.
a lot of things. Like you're literally sitting there at these like parties and the parents of these underage kids are there watching their
Well,
kids do coke with these older men being promised all the world, you know, if they just party, have a good time, and being offered like the amount of people that just want to pay you to go on a date with them, and just
yeah, it'll
so
work though.
those are a lot of, and I have nothing against it, but it definitely having kids definitely made me go, well, is that something that I want my kids to be like? Yeah, my mom did that, so it should be okay. And I definitely saw
Perfect.
it differently when, like, raising my girls.
Yeah, so the kids motivated you. Your
Yeah,
kids is what motivated you to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Whereas for
to
me,
have a moral compass,
yeah,
basically.
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Certain things motivate people a
Yeah,
certain way. Like the money didn't. But most people, if money's involved, they'll do anything. They would have done
yeah.
that. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
I
And
definitely have a cap. I have a
some people don't.
some people don't, and you know what? I'm related to some of those people.
And that's sad because it's like if I can pay you to do whatever I want you to do, and it might be something that's like totally against what you would get. It's just to me, but like you said, money does. You have to live. I get that part,
I
but
wonder though, having had studied psychology and the way the brain works and the habitual like subconscious programming of everything, I wonder if that is just a sign of like survival trauma and what may have happened. See, when I see something like that and I view people and I meet people like that, like I want to know what made you tick. Like I want to sit and I want to ask you
yeah,
all of these questions because I'm curious about what got you to this point in your life.
yeah, yeah.
And I it's just it has led me to get to know quite a few different types of people, and
But
you find more often than not that those people who seek after money were raised
yeah,
on lack thereof,
yeah,
and so not having and having to constantly be in survival, that will
yeah.
drive you to
That's
seek
true.
money in any way that you can get it. Because if you stack, because if you're from poverty, things happen in that world on top of just not having money. That's
Yeah,
just layer of trauma on top of layer of trauma on top of layer of trauma. And then a lot of people don't even know where to begin to unpack it. Because you think
yeah,
about the human brain isn't even fully formed until you're what, 28?
yeah. That's why I said you're young.
Yeah.
You don't even that's. And I told this story with my father. He told me a long time ago, and I took offense to it. He said, you're smart, but you're not wise." And at first, I'm like thinking he's saying I'm dumb, but what he was saying was I haven't experienced enough. I'm not. I don't have the wisdom that an older man would have because I haven't lived. I haven't seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had loss. I haven't had a lot of stuff. And then when he passed away, I started seeing what he was talking about because I didn't have both my parents for a long time. I
Yeah.
had all kind of stuff given to me. There were certain things I didn't see until I got older. So when he said that, he was just like, you don't have the wisdom yet. You don't have the experience of life.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I had a lot of things when at a young age, that I was oblivious to. Like I didn't notice certain things until I lived it. Like I never really understood how people get homeless, not having like how did that happen? Like I
Yeah.
was oblivious to certain things. And then you start seeing some people have mental health issues. Some people they don't have nobody. They don't have this, they don't have that. And then you start seeing, and then stuff happened when they was a child. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're young, you don't understand all that. You just think, and then you think, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna eat as much as I want, and then you start realizing later on that I should have been eating like that.
Yeah.
Well, I should have been physically fit. I should have been running. I should, you know what I'm saying? So when you're young and you feel invincible, that's what he meant by wise, and I wasn't.
Right.
And then as I got older, 30s, instead I started seeing certain things, like my credit score. I didn't know that meant anything. Like,
Yeah.
why do I care? I just pay with cash. I'll do that. I don't care about credit scores. And then when I tried to get a house, tried to get in the military, and I started seeing that affects a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
people need to be, and that's why, and that's another thing too. When I was in the military and I did junior RT instruction, and I told the principal, I said they need to teach, I don't know what that word, financial like stability because
Right.
when you get in the real world and it hits you fast at 18. These kids are 16 years old
Mm-hmm.
and they don't understand like credit scores and credit and then just writing a check and they don't understand that they're gonna be in a world of trouble by the time they're 28. And then
Yeah.
it might be too late to fix it, or you might not have the knowledge. Like I had the knowledge. That's the good thing about me. I went to school, education helped,
Right.
and then my mother showed me, and then I started practicing and learning. I'm like, oh, pay this car off, then do this a military thing, get this credit card, get this, and then my credit score went up. Then I had to be disciplined, not buy the nice sweatsuit or the nice jacket. And then it started getting better, but I learned that from messing up. I learned that from getting taught.
Loss.
Yeah, lost,
Loss.
and then, but they need to be teaching this stuff in high school. So even though people are young, 16, 17 or whatever, and they not in the real world yet, they need to be practicing on being financially stable because I see people too in 30s, two, three jobs, trying to make ends meet. And it's a cycle with the mother, then the daughter, then that daughter has a daughter. And it's just, you see them struggle and it's hard, but you have to learn early, make your mistakes, pick yourself up and do what you need to do. But I just feel like there's a lot of people out here that's just winging it. They not prepared.
Because they are just winging it, and because you somewhere along the line we lost community,
Yeah.
right? We lost the cousins and the aunts and the uncles and the everybody that used to come together and make sure everybody was whole, and that generation started dying off, and it was you realized your family was pretty freaking superficial after the key people started dying off and nobody wanted to talk to each other or make the effort to be, because my life is too heavy. I don't have time for your life. I don't have time to make time for you. I want to go do this and I'd prefer to do that. So we've lost that. And then on top of that, we've the financial stability, the financial situation of our government,
Yeah.
our country is just
Yeah.
it's
bad.
it needs to collapse. I am looking forward to seeing a financial collapse globally. It needs to go away. The fiat system needs to be gone. It's just not feasible for the future. And there needs to be something different. Just like I feel like our current system of government that we've known for such a long time needs to be gone. There should be no reason why we have this many hands in the
you're right.
pot. There's no need. If we have full transparency, there is absolutely no need to have this many hands in the pot. There's none of it. When you go back to the original, um, the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union, and that's what was here before the colonization started to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you had presidents. So the delegates from each state would meet together in Pennsylvania and they would elect what they would consider to be not the president of the United States, but the president of Congress. That
Gotcha.
would be the person who runs Congress. They would all vote on that particular person. And that was it. That was all the government you needed.